Okay, so I left it with, some of what I was doing. I got certified in spin and body pump. I did a yoga. I created a hybrid class called sport yoga and soft tissue work. So I would do the spin class and then get off the bikes. And then we would lay down on the floor and use foam rollers and do yoga. So I started to do hybrids on the hybrid. Plus, I was doing the outdoor park classes, my Naked Commando, which is, the PT that I used to do in Buds. I got an idea from a guy named Matt Fury. He did a lot of wrestling, but he made this initial PDF book. And I kind of copied that idea and then made my Naked Commando workout from all of the exercises that we did at Buds. Hit me up. I'll send it to you. I give it to you. No big deal. But it was part of what we do on the weekend classes. So that class, I ended up filming it and got an opportunity on Ballroom Boot Camp on Bravo. And I had hired a videographer to do it. So he filmed it for me. And then I ended up incorporating it in one of my online web courses and classes. So we're talking about from 1988 going into 90, going from the mid 90s, now moving into 2000. And along this ways, there's, recessions, there's housing bubbles, there's craziness. And I'm training, NFL athletes, pro athletes, soon to be pro athletes, college athletes. Some of my other friends are coaching over at, local Poly high school. Some are at Jordan High School here in Long Beach. And so there's a pretty cool little cliquey vibe of trainers. And some of us, I would say there's probably about 10 of us that are still here in the Long Beach area. Yeah, great memories. But the process now was, okay, how can I take it to the next level? And because I was getting so busy and popular, and corporations were starting to come into the big gyms and try to disrupt what was going on for the trainer, and they wanted a larger share. Now, back at the other Golds, the other location, there was a time where I was paying, $2,000, $3,000 a month to the house. That was the only way they'd let me work there. So they knew they had a kind of control. Well, the next step, corporate Golds came in and wanted to do the same thing. So a lot of the corporations started to realize that with a well-organized program, kind of like the one I was running, they could have 20, 30, 40 trainers running a system, take 50% or more of the revenue shares that they were charging the members, and just have this huge revenue stream. And I was a little upset. And so I was like, I need to figure out how to bounce, because they were going to either throw me out of there or I had to figure out some kind of way. So here's what I did. I had all these clients. I had a list of clients that were just like in love with the vibe I had and with, the passion that I had. I ended up going to a local condominium, and I had, with the thing about the credit earlier, I had applied for an SBA loan. I got $35,000 low interest loan, kind of like the climate we're in right now. Okay, pay attention. I'm telling you, this is a trick right now. Right now, if you have good credit, go get your money. Start your paperwork on your money, because now you can get the equipment that you need. Now, whether you do it this way or you put it in a garage or you put it in a spare room built out in your house, one of those you need to do right now, because what if the gyms don't open up? What if the big box gyms don't open up again, and then they only limit like social distancing and all this stuff, and no people in at 9 or 10, clients at a time. So I went to a local condominium, and I lived in one unit, but then I was like, I looked over here, and there was like the complex gym next to this particular unit in the building. And this particular unit in the building had an outdoor patio, and then it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So what I did is the money that I got on the loan, I bought this equipment. I bought a ground zero. I bought a squat rack. I bought some dumbbells. I bought a fixed barbell rack. I bought a pull-up dip rack. I took rubber flooring, covered that patio instead of furniture. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just turn this place into a gym. It's gonna be my first studio. So I had the outdoor patio, and then the gym had a treadmill, bike, so on and so forth, more free weight. And I was on a landing, and next to my door, I was in the final apartment on that floor. So when you went out the back door, there was a set of staircases that went up 2 flights and then back down. So I used those as my group stair climber. I had 2 people out there doing stairs. Well, I had a Versa climber inside, a rower, hyperextension, a 45-degree hyperextension for the lower back. I ran 6 to 8 people twice in the morning, twice at night, 32 people a day in 3 hours. 3 hours, 45 minutes each. So I transitioned those people. So 3 hours. I learned that model. I started testing it at Gold's, but I started perfecting it in this 2-bedroom, 2-bath condominium a block away from Gold. So I was killing it. And I did my weekend classes. I did my outdoor boot camp. I did my urban. I did my urban cardio and what I call the super cardio, where I would have people doing grass drills and these drills down here at a portion in Long Beach where the Bluff is. And I had so many people that had signs out there that said Mr. Fat Loss. And I had people honking as they would go by. I was filming. It was out of control. It was absolutely nuts. And this is when the city started looking at this going, what exactly are you doing? So now everybody's at the Bluff. So it's kind of cool to be ahead of the curve, setting that trend. Now this is, late 90s going into 2000. This is before, 9/11. And that's a whole other story that I could talk about here real briefly. But I'll save that for the next video. But the key here was getting the credit right, then figuring out what you want to do with your model. And here I'm in this 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm seeing 32 people every day. And then when they're not there Monday through Friday, I would see them for another hour on the weekend. So basically 3 times 5, that's 15 hours. Then I would do a couple of one-on-ones for specific clients. And then I would do the weekend classes where it was 20, 30, 40 people at a crack Saturday and Sunday for a morning and for 1 hour. I was doing okay. So enough about that, but I want you to kind of think about all of that. And if you have questions, reach out, but we're going to line up all of the different certifications and things that will help you understand, part of my journey. And to look back at it right now, I can't even believe I did it. And this next phase, I'll tell you where we went from there.